We live in a modern era where people are getting more comfortable with being themselves. There are many things people choose to identify with, and today is no exception. Watch as we sit down with a young man, DeCarlo Hall, aka Nonchalant, who's made a shocking discovery about his own identity.
Hey, what's good, everybody? My name is DeCarlo Hall, street name Nonchalant. I identify as a hood nigga. What's up? We in the hizza! My name is Saint, and I am the father of a child who identifies as hood.
We going higher and higher, higher, until we on top.
So before we get into this shocking discovery, give me a bit of background about you. Where are you from?
Well, just like everybody else from the Metroplex, I am from the mean streets of Dallas, Texas, born and raised. I grew up in Louisville, and that's where I was born and raised, but my parents were actually from Detroit. He was born in McKinney. Man, growing up where I did, I was on the corner daily just trying to make a way for myself, trying to get up out of these streets. Now, if you know anything about McKinney's about 45 minutes away from downtown Dallas and about 30 minutes away from North Dallas. So it's a suburb and it's really, really nice. Sometimes I just didn't know where my next meal was gonna come from. Just being out on them corners, trying to skate, trying to just really make a way for myself. It was just hard out here. Okay, he's technically not wrong about that. He did grow up on the corner house in a 2-story home, but he wasn't on the streets by any means. I mean, my dad just doesn't understand. You don't have to be from the hood to actually be hood.
And DeCarlo, when did you first discover you were hood?
I think I've always been hood. Like, I've always felt this way, honestly. It's like, I think this is just something that you're just born being. Being hood is not where you're from. Being hood is a state of mind. Our silverware is silver. When these rappers speak, they are speaking for me. Silver spoon. These rappers are saying everything that I am thinking. They're about their paper and their respect. I'm about my paper and respect. I'm just not really. They're about getting bitches. I'm about getting bitches. Understanding. They're about running down, gunning down they ops. Everything. I'm about running down, gunning down my ops. These rappers is telling my life story. Is he talking about my parents' life story? His grandparents' life story? Anyways, I was really faced with two options when my mom passed away. I could either go to a 4-year university and graduate with a 3.5 GPA so I can receive my inheritance money. I worked my whole life to give this boy a better life than what I had, but he wants to throw it all away. It's millions of dollars, by the way, by claiming something that he's not. Or I could start selling drugs. Do y'all see what I mean? Let's just say I'm not in school right now. If the boy had any street smarts, he wouldn't be doing this interview. Get at me. You know you need some. Get at me if you need something. I got you. The boy's not from the streets. Look, just because you aren't from the streets doesn't mean that the streets can't become your home. The hood is where your heart is, and my heart is in the hood. I don't understand any of this. I really don't.
And what are some of the struggles you face daily from being hood?
I struggle every day with being hood and presenting my hood identity to the world. My neighborhood doesn't understand me. When I go to the hood, my card is always getting pulled. They talking about where are you from? We don't know you. You better go back to that rich neighborhood that you came from. Rich? Rich? We didn't even have a gate. I didn't even live in a gated community. Rich? I had to get everything that I have out of the mud. I worked for everything. I bought my own car. I co-signed on it. I bought my own place to stay. I'm his landlord. I literally own the house. I even started the business that I'm in currently by myself. I gave this boy $10K for his business startup, and he took that money and he bought 5 P's, whatever that is, and then he used the rest of the money to put a down payment on a Hellcat. I am a self-made man and nobody is going to take that away from me. Nobody. Not you, not my dad, not the people from the hood. Nobody.
So, how did the people closest to you react when you came out to them as hood?
I'm gonna be honest with you. It really just depends on the person. My dad, he doesn't really understand where I'm coming from. My old friends support me, and I've actually been the inspiration for a few of them to come out and identify as hood themselves. I am a pioneer to this hood shit. Nah.
And what advice would you give to someone who's struggling to come out to the community as hood?
My advice is to be yourself and to always live in your truth. Everybody might not understand you, but you gotta do you. And if being hood is something that you're rocking with, don't let anyone stop you. My advice is, if you grew up in a nice neighborhood and you identify as hood, I think you're delusional. Please seek therapy. You need help.
Anything else you want the world to know about being hood before we wrap up this interview?
Being hood isn't a choice. You are born hood. You don't choose to be hood. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what neighborhood you're from. And it doesn't matter who your parents are. You are born hood. And I am proud to identify as a certified hood nigga. Anyone can be hood, and you can be too.